G'day everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a new piece of equipment, which is our new 3000 psi log splitter. This is a Redgum GX200 Series 2, which means it's got the Honda GX200 engine. And today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the model, but because not many people can buy the Redgum necessarily worldwide, people who subscribe to my channel, I thought I'd do a little bit of more of a précis around what are the features of this log splitter that work for me and why we bought it in the first place amongst the myriad of Chinese ones out there, although this is part Chinese I believe, and compared with say a domestically made one. So what are the features and just what makes it work for us, and we'll split some wood because it has not been turned on yet, so that'll be exciting. So stick with me, like and subscribe, and we'll see how we go. So the first thing by miles is that it's got a Honda engine. This one has the Honda GX200. I was determined not to get a Chinese knockoff, and the reason being that you would typically use a log splitter maybe 2 to 3 times a year, and what you want to do is you want to have that engine start each time. So the Honda is, maybe you could go with a Briggs & Stratton or something similar like that, but I wouldn't touch anything else if you want it to be reliable. One good way to make sure your engine does start each time is the last time you use it is turn the fuel tap off here and let the carburetor run dry. That way you'll avoid getting gummy residue from the unleaded petrol in the carburetor, and that should allow you to start it again easily each time. Something just to remember, just for general engine maintenance on any engine that's similar. Another useful feature is this tray. Now, a lot of them have trays, a lot of splitters have trays, but I noticed looking at various splitters that a lot of them don't have this back piece here. And this back piece and this side piece are critical for stopping your log from falling from here straight onto your engine, which is typically in the same place. So just something to look for there. This also comes off quite easily. Don't know if you can see, but there's a bolt here and one on the other side. These simply undo and then it slides out of these slots, and it's got to come off when you've got it in the vertical position. So there's another really good feature of this particular splitter. One of the really major reasons why we bought this one was because this is the exact model that we rented from the same place that we bought this model from. So the place that we go to in a little town near us called Malden, they were renting equipment, but they stopped doing that because their liability insurance is now too expensive. So we can't rent anymore, which is why we bought it. But the guy said, this is a model that we rent. And he said this model, their rental model, their specific model, had split more than 100 times the amount of wood that you would split in a lifetime using the same splitter. So that's a pretty good recommendation. So I know that this particular model will almost never run out or wear out on us, as long as we look after the engine, change the oil, keep an eye on the hydraulic fluid, etc. A couple of things about this splitter that you may or may not agree with. It's a 3000 psi force going through the blade. Now that probably equates to about 25 tonne. Again, doesn't worry me at all. The tonnage is almost irrelevant. If I know that this exact model is split 100 times more timber in our local area, where we have some of the hardest timbers in the world, red gum, box, ironbark, and the other eucalyptus species, then I know that it'll split my timber on this property for the rest of our lives. Simply a lifetime investment. So anything softer than that, don't worry about it. It'll split, technically up to 600 millimeters deep, etc., and all those statistics, but I'm really not worried about that because I know that the model does split the timber in our area and splits it without any issues whatsoever. It does have a reasonably long cycle time. I think it's around 15 to 20 seconds, and some people wouldn't want that, particularly if you're splitting a huge amount of timber. So I'll see how I go with that, but again, from experience renting it, I don't see that as any issue whatsoever. By the time it's returned to its place, I've already got the next bit of timber ready to split, and hopefully the tray will help a little bit with that too. Okay, so let's fire it up and we'll split some timber. So fuel on, choke, switch on. Set it off so we can hear ourselves. So you can see this is pretty strong timber. This stuff doesn't just fall apart. It really is hard to split. It's very hard, dense timber, but it splits it easily enough. And the tray here was fantastic. Get rid of the bark. So there you go. So I hope you learned something from this video. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.